Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. As is sometimes the case, I actually need to be somewhere in about an hour and 13 minutes, so I will not necessarily be able to do the entire rest of the run here. This may be a video in 3 parts. I promise that is not intentional. I figured it would be better to make a video in 3 parts than to not make a video at all for those of you who enjoy my videos and would like me to make more of them. It seemed like the best way to get one out. So do not please take the time length of the video as a spoiler. It's guaranteed to be short no matter what happens. Jose Parts Per Infinity, the Mage. Do you keep a Soulfire? I think you do. I think it's nice to have that as removal, even though it means going down a card. You know, you can always go back up a card with life tap, no probalo. Oh geez, well, here's my deck not doing very nice things to me. Though if we can survive, we could be okay. Just don't play a Mana Worm, you bitch. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, that's actually not worse. Well, it's pretty bad, is what I'm trying to say. Leper Gnome, well, I could play this and just have it die. I am actually going to play it, though, because if she wants to kill it with her hero ability, at least she's not playing another minion, and that's really important right here, is for me not to fall even further behind. She also can just pop the Divine Shield to kill it, but then this will later die to a Mortal Coil or some other minion, so I feel like it's worth it to slow the opponent down. As you can see, my opponent elects to use the Divine Shield to kill the Leper Gnome, so that she can play a minion. And that is just fine by me, because now I can Shadow Bolt this thing. I'm not going to Soul Fire the Argent Squire, though. That seems a little bit extreme. We'll do that. We'll use the Soul Fire on whatever she plays next. This is a good target for Bane of Doom. You can get some pretty good demons. You can get like a 3/5 Taunter, or as you saw at the end of the last game, you can also get, you know, Flame Imp. So it's pretty hit or miss. Alright, I really hope I don't... I really would just like to lose one of these 6 drops, ideally the Rocketeer, but I'm not picky. Nice to keep the Bane of Doom. Alright, wow, that's fortunate. I keep losing the card I least care about losing. And we do not get a 2-mana minion, sadly, but that's okay. So I've got to play next turn. I can play Fen Creeper or perhaps Bane of Doom, depending on how frisky I'm feeling. Oh, this is a really good target for Bane of Doom. And she doesn't have anything for the rest of her mana. So at four mana, all she had was a Sorcerer's Apprentice. That is really good for me. Now we're going into RNG mode here. Let's see how good my demon is. Well, it's been better. The problem with Bane of Doom is that there are 3 random demons that you could get that are 1 mana: Flame Imp, Voidwalker, and Blood Imp. So it's actually really likely that you will get something that sucks. Kind of sad. So do I play the Sunwalker here? I think so. So she can obviously ping off the Divine Shield, but that's going to be a third of her mana. And then this thing still dies, and this thing will have to be killed the following turn, so I feel like that's fine to do, as opposed to just doing the Fen Creeper, which more easily dies to things like Fireball. This also dies to Fireball, but you'd have to also Fire Blast it. And of course this is vulnerable to Polymorph. Anyway, it looks like she is just going to do the obvious thing here, I think. Yep. Okay, good. And play a Harvest Golem, that's fine. Alright. I think I am going to do this. Silence that up. The Sunwalker's going to die to Fire Blast anyway, so I might as well get some use out of it. And play the Ooze because the Mage doesn't have any weapons. Well, after a very criminally slow start, I'm actually in fine shape this game. All that removal paid off. She's only got a little bit of life advantage, and really our card situation is just about equal. In fact, as the first player, I'm drawing ahead, so I'm even ahead. Got some good 5-mana minions. Unfortunately, I have lost my 6-mana minions. My Sunwalker was already played, and my Reckless Rocketeer was discarded. This is actually really, really good to have the Drake right here, because what it allows me to do is spend Mortal Coil 2 damage and get rid of this Water Elemental. Put the Fairy Dragon in the middle to guard against Cone of Cold. And this will die, so I will again have 5 cards drawing up to my 6. Now, if she starts dropping big minions, I could be in trouble. I've got Siphon Soul for one of them, but then the second, I will be screwed against. But if she doesn't have a really good turn here, and I can start beating down for 7 damage with these 2 minions, I could be in pretty good shape. Now, if Flame Strike will clear my board, then I'll be drawing equal on cards in that case. Nope, no Flame Strike. Just a Farseer. Oh, does she actually have a secret? Let's find out. Does she have a secret? No, she does not. Lovely dovely. Well, let's kill that. And I'm not going to damage my Azure Drake against the stupid Farseer. I will protect it behind a wall of taunt. I'm pretty sure she would have played Flame Strike if she had it last turn, so I'm guessing she doesn't have it here. Though if she does, she could clear my board out. It would have to cost the Farseer to do so. Blizzard would also be very annoying, but this is actually starting to be a lot of power. This is technically 10 power here. Cult Master. Well, that means no Flame Strike or anything. She's going to take a bite out of the Fen Creeper. Now we have to think, why the Fen Creeper, not the Senjin? That might be because she has a Flame Strike she's planning to play later. Hard to say. Hard to say. Okay, so let's think about our options. I could actually do some pandaing here. Let's kill the Cult Master, stop the Card Engine. Is it worth it to Siphon Soul the Ventricle Mercenary? I don't think it actually is. Let's panda my Senjin. Wait, I should life tap. Yeah, I really should life tap. Demon Fire, cute, but not cute enough. We'll do this. And do I play the River Crocodile? That's opening up wide to Flame Strike. I don't think I'm gonna play that Crocodile. I don't think she has a Flame Strike, but she could always top deck it. She could also have been slow rolling it. Don't want to open up too wide against it. Alright, no Flame Strike still. So now we're pretty certain she doesn't have Flame Strike. She would have definitely played Flame Strike if she had it here. And she actually managed to get 2 minions out, despite the drawback of the Ventricle Mercenary. Let's do a quick check. Can we win? Well, none of these are demons, so the Demon Fire can't be buffed. I can deal 3, 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 2, 12 damage? Not really enough. Okay, well in that case what I'm going to do is let's Demon Fire that. Let's kill that. I'll life tap because I can still do that. Ooh, Doomguard.
For the king.
I should have life tapped first. Oh god, could I have one? Let's see, I could have dealt 3, 6. No, sorry. Could have dealt 3, 6, 10, 12. I actually could have killed her. You know, if I had life tapped first, this is why you life tap first, people. If I had life tapped first, I would have been able to play the Doomguard and win the game this turn. No, I wouldn't have. Never mind, because I needed the Stormwind Knight and the Doomguard. That's 9 mana. Life tap is 2, so that would have been 11 mana. Anyway, she's got a Black Knight. That's cool. Cool card. I like this card a lot. I think it's a good card. Still no Flame Strike. Well, that's over then. Because this is 8 damage plus 5 is 13. I will even throw my other cards away. Such is my confidence in my arithmetic. And well played. Well, that mage really took a beating, despite having a pretty fast start. Argent Squire, and then a Berserker, and then Sorcerer's Apprentice. Well, the turn 4 where she played a Sorcerer's Apprentice and passed with no good targets for Fire Blast, that was a bad time for her. If she had dropped a Yeti there, she would have probably been able to establish a dominating position. But because she didn't have a good 4-turn play, I was able to use my basic single target removal just to kill everything she played one at a time until my own minions surpassed hers. She really just never had a good answer to that Flame Imp or the Senjin. She needed a Flame Strike there to stay on. I wouldn't have lost a Flame Strike necessarily, but it would have given her a fighting chance. Edward 98, I don't know if the numbers in that boring name make it better or worse, but there it is. And there's a sort of abysmal opening hand. Let's keep the 3-drop just in case. We got our 1-drops. Hey, that's actually a really good turn 1 play here. Voidwalker and Leper Gnome, and on turn 2 I wouldn't mind life tapping. The other druid never played swipe against us. I don't know if we'll be so lucky twice. Okay. Ooh, Flame Imp. That's probably even better.
Why do you call?
I think it's even better than the Leper Gnome. I mean, it just hits harder. So might as well get it down earlier. Leper Gnome, I'll play on turn 2. I think it's better to play the Leper Gnome than to life tap. These are actually all 3 of my 1-drops. Quite convenient. And my opponent goes for Wild Growth, so potentially he could like play a Senjin next turn and be totally fine. But if he doesn't have a Senjin, he's going to be in tough shape, I think. Because this is 6 power on the board already on turn 2, and if it's allowed to start hitting him, he's going to be hurting. Hurtin' dirtin'. He's got a swipe. Well, that will kill 2 of my minions, but he's using it on 1-drops, which is a little bit less than impressive as far as uses of swipe are concerned. Okay, so do I put a Demon Fire on this thing to stop it from dying to shapeshift? No, I don't think so. I think it's better to put another minion out here. If he has a second swipe, he can clear everything again. But I'm gambling he's not going to have 2 swipes in a row like that. That would be quite lucky for him to have. So my fast start baited out a swipe. He has another swipe! Alright, well, I think I still played correctly. I think that was extremely improbable, and he's just super lucky, and sometimes you will lose games in Hearthstone because your opponent is just super lucky. There's nothing you can do. So that, of course, makes me wish I had Demon Fired my Flame Imp. Then I wouldn't have lost my Imp Master. Now my opponent's in the driver's seat, I would say, because he's a mana, well, he's actually 2 mana ahead. And yeah, he's just 2 mana ahead. It's a pretty good place to be. He's gonna claw up, gain some life, so now he's actually got the life advantage here. Luckily, Shadow Bolt's a pretty good card. In Arena, I should say. I could also play Corruption. The problem with Corruption is I don't have anything else to do with the rest of my 4 mana, so I might as well just spend the more expensive removal spell. Is it worth life tapping here? I don't think so. I think I should actually preserve my life total. I've got already more cards than he does. I'm discounting this Ancient Watcher. Unless he proves it with the Defender of Argus or Sunfear Protector, that thing's pretty crappy. He's going to shapeshift. Well, I say my opponents ahead. These are really awful cards. I don't have good targets for Siphon Soul. That Silverhand Knight actually was just obnoxious. Alright, so we'll do this, and sure, I'll Demon Fire the Squire, although that is just blatant card disadvantage. I'm okay with that because I'm ahead on cards still. It's not over. I could win. I could win potentially. I've got Siphon Soul if he drops an Ironbark. He's gonna silence that. That's annoying. So he's got a Chillwind Yeti now. Probably have to use the Reckless Rocketeer for it. Shapeshift lets him kill off the Dragonling. Oh, this is just ugly. Yeah. I'm doing okay on cards. I just can't get any kind of a toehold. Oh, Hellfire. Okay, we'll do it. And then I'll use Corruption on this. I'm not going to life tap because I can't afford to. I'm already down below 10 health. Because Corruption is a crappy removal spell. Man, that game went from great to bad, but it was only because my opponent had 2 swipes. Like, literally anything less than 2 swipes, and I would have been completely fine this game. He just had 2 swipes, and that's all there is to it. So, whatever. You lose the game sometimes because your opponent has 2 swipes. It's not a big deal. Gotta not let those games get to you. It's kind of stupid. Stupid things happen. Sometimes you'll be the beneficiary of stupidity, and that's just fine. Okay, so I can Siphon Soul this Fen Creeper, but then I can't play anything else. Reckless Rocketeer doesn't hit hard enough to kill the Fen Creeper. This is just awful. I think what I have to do is this. So it might seem crazy letting him hit me for 5-6 damage with Shapeshift, but I mean I have to, because I just have to assume that I'll be able to survive. If I just Siphon Souled a minion, I think I would lose. I think he's got the kill. He's attacking me very confidently, and he's got a Starfire for the win. Well, I'm not going to give a well played, because whatever, he just played 2 swipes. Any monkey can do that, and so we lose to Edward 98. Not to dismiss Edward by any means. I mean, if I were in his shoes, I would have done the exact same thing. So, which is play 2 swipes and win the game automatically. That's fine. So we can take our first loss, hopefully dropping into the loser's bracket and facing some easier opponents here as we continue our march to 7. I think this deck could make it to 7. It seems like it has enough quality. After some recent arena runs where I was forced to play with cards like Wisp and Rifleman and a mother frickin' Elven Archer, God, I have to take like 3 showers after that arena just to feel clean again. This one with just, you know, everything except for Corruption being a pretty good card. And Corruption at least still kills something. I feel like it's alright. Alright, so we'll do similar mulligan strategy as before. Yeah. Well, actually, okay, if I'm going to keep Hellfire, I don't want to keep Soulfire, because Soulfire might dump the Hellfire. Let's keep the Hellfire for mass removal. What I hope to be able to do last game, when I also had Demon Fire and Imp Master, is play the Imp Master. The imps that she summons are indeed demons, so Demon Fire can buff them, and that can be good sometimes. And I'm going to play the Master first, actually, because it's just a little bit more resilient to removal. And I might as well start the Imp army as soon as I can. This would just die to Shadow Word Pain, you know, and that would be that. At least if he has a Shadow Word Pain, I want a little 1/1 Imp lying around. And indeed he has it. I hope he doesn't have a 1-mana play. Okay. Well, that Druid had 2 swipes in a row. Is this priest gonna have 2 Shadow Word Pains in a row, or is he gonna try to beat this Worgen with, say, Ascension Shieldmaster, which, as we are frequently finding, is a really, really good thing to have on turn 4 in a wide variety of situations. Luckily, actually, Shadow Bolt plus this Demon plus this Imp would take care of it. That is what I would do if he played Ascension or a Yeti. Gonna play a Dark Iron Dwarf. Well, let me think about this. I could Worgen plus Mortal Coil it, but you know what? Let's just keep it simple. Shadow Bolt takes care of business. Swing for 4 damage. It's fine. I could have again Mortal Coiled my Worgen and swung for 8. That would have essentially dealt 5 extra damage, but that seemed a little bit foolhardy. Note that if this thing miraculously does survive until turn 6 when I play the Dread Infernal is a combo with the Worgen. Kind of hard to pull that combo off, but it is a combo with the Worgen. Kidoke. Well, my opponent decides to just give me, for free, the opportunity to trigger my Wind Fury. So, Gold the Defender Vargas. 4. Now, obviously here we're looking at Holy Nova territory. So instead of playing Fairy Dragon, what I'm going to do is life tap and play Voidwalker, who survives Holy Nova. My opponent really should play Holy Nova if he's got it, even though all it does is kill an Imp and a single minion. Because this hitting him for 8 every turn is going to be a problem real fast. Yeah, I mean, this has to die. That's the thing about the Worgen. It's a very fragile creature, easy to kill, but if it doesn't die, you are kind of screwed. It's very important. With this being at 1 health, it does mean the Dread Infernal's not playable, but that's fine, because I can play Sunwalker. He'll kill it with a Shadow Form. Well, that's fine. This means that he does not have the ability to heal himself ever again. Do I play Reckless Rocketeer? No, I'm not going to play the Rocketeer. I've got that as damage in my back pocket later on for when I need it. I'll play the stronger minion instead, the Sunwalker. He can pop off the Divine Shield, but that is then not killing my Imp, who's been around for like 3 turns. Actually 4 turns, because that Imp Master was coined down turn 2. I got this for damage, so I've got 8 damage in my pocket with the Rocketeer plus Hellfire. Just need to deal 10 damage to him from other sources, and we're good to go. Oh gosh, we're starting to have a lot of damage here. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn him out. Let's keep it simple. Actually, I have more than that. I have 3 plus 4 is 7 damage. I also have this for 8. So actually, I have enough burn damage in my hand to kill him, and he has no way to heal himself other than cards, of course, thanks to Mind Spike. I think that people think that Shadow Form is a little bit better than it really is. It's a great card in the arena, don't get me wrong, but you are going a card down to swap your 1 hero ability for another. Mind Spike is better, but, you know, lesser heal is also pretty good, so you're not gaining quite as much as you might think you are. So I actually got him dead on the board here. He does need to answer these minions in some fashion. At least one of them to even think he has a chance of surviving, otherwise he should just concede. Well, he's got a Holy Nova, so that will heal him up. And then he can actually clear my board out. Alright. Good times for him. So I can't kill him yet. This is actually 7 damage, but he healed himself up, unfortunately. So we need to drop Dread Infernal here. And a Fairy Dragon. So we got this threatening to kill him. Plus Soulfire. This is still 7 damage, so actually something needs to hit him in order for me to win. If he actually clears out my board, then I can't get the kill. I will be 1 damage shy, which would be pretty frustrating. Note that Mind Spike cannot target the Fairy Dragon. The Fairy Dragon's ability, quite relevant here, shockingly so. He needs to kill both of my minions to even have a chance at this game, but if he does kill them both, he does in fact have a chance. Like if he has Shadow Word Death for this, and then he kills my Fairy Dragon, he could actually win potentially.
Speak to me.
Okay, so he doesn't know that I've gotten Bird in my hand, so he left the Fairy Dragon alive. Not by choice, probably, or maybe by choice, I don't know. But we're going to do that. Got some more burn damage, actually, so I could have actually won anyway, even if he hadn't done what he did. Let's play Hellfire. And let's finish off another opponent with Bane of Doom. Getting another Void Walker in the process. Yeah, I think that's why Bane of Doom is a bad card. Your odds of getting a good demon are really, really small, and I think, like, the best ones, like, I don't think you can get a Doom Guard. And I don't think you can get Lord Jiraxis. I think you get, like, the 1-mana minions, the Flame Imp, the Void Walker, or the Blood Imp. You can get a Succubus, which is alright, but not that great. You can get the Felguard, I believe, who's really good. I mean, if you get a 3/5 taunt for 5 mana, plus deal damage to something, that's pretty sweet. But I think that's the best one. Maybe, oh no, I think you can get a Dread Infernal as well. But a lot of the ones you can get are pretty crappy. And this Leper Gnome loves to show up early to the party. G-Sun the Paladin. Well, Ooze, unfortunately, not playable on turn 2 against Paladins, I don't think. Yeah, I think because True Silver Champion is almost certainly to be taken if it is drafted. I think you have to save your Ooze. Now, I did lose a game in a recent arena run, which actually ended up being really important because I held the Ooze on for too long into the end game. So you do have to play it at some point if it's a high pressure situation, but you shouldn't play it on turn 2 is what I'm saying. Alright, so we now go up a card ahead here, which means that if he makes a recruit, I'll be more than happy just to throw the Leper Gnome into it. Leper Gnome did its job, it dealt 4 damage and wiped off a recruit. I'm pretty happy about that for 1 mana and a card. No, he's gonna do that. That's annoying. So if this were a vanilla minion, I would have played it last turn, and then I'd be killing this Bloodstout Raider now. As it is, unfortunately, I cannot kill that thing because I don't have Soulfire, and I didn't get Shadow Bolt. If I had Shadow Bolt or Soulfire, I would totally use it to wipe off that Bloodstout Raider. Nuts. Nuts, nuts. He could actually play True Silver Champion right now with the coin, which wouldn't bother me at all, because that means he wouldn't be playing a minion, and then I'd get the Ooze down, kill his True Silver Champion. It would be pretty great if he did that, as a matter of fact. Now, had I had the Fairy Dragon instead of the Ooze, I'd be in much better shape. I would have played it on turn 2 instead of life tapping, and I would have been able to kill this thing. Then my Leper Gnome would have survived longer. Yeah, sometimes this Ooze having an ability kind of hurts you. Or to put it another way, the fact that the Paladins have True Silver Champion is impacting this game, even though the True Silver Champion's not even getting played. He's got really good drops, which is quite irritating. He needs to kill the Leper Gnome, actually. That's the correct play. I don't know why he's targeting anything else. Is he seriously not sure that you need to kill the Leper Gnome here? Interesting. But yes, Leper Gnome is definitely what you want to kill because it hits the hardest.
Move quickly.
What is he doing? He's really not sure? I guess he's not sure. Might be a newbie. Well, he figures it out. Good man. Alright. Crocolisk. Wonderful. Okay, so we will kill that. Kill that. And play my other stuff. A little bit vulnerable to Consecration here, but that'll be his whole turn anyway. And this guy would survive to at least deal 2 damage to the Hunter. Then that would be his whole turn. I'd go down a card, or, well, I'd go down quite a few cards actually. But then I could play the Fen Creeper. And then after that, the Dread Infernal would finish off the Hunter if, of course, no Divine Shields or Blessings of Kings get put on it. So I'd still rather he not have Consecration here, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Certainly not worth leaving my minions behind for. Well, he's thinking a lot, but given how long he thought about killing the Leper Gnome, this doesn't actually tell me he doesn't have a Consecration. This person just seems to be a very pensive man. No, no Consecration. Hammer Wrath. I am delighted to see that, because it gives him card advantage, but it takes up his entire turn. So it leaves me with the opportunity of... Actually, he clears the board for me, so it leaves me with board control. And a great situation. I think it's very important, by the way, here to play the Fen Creeper, not the Vengeful Mercenary, because... if the Paladin has Humility, you'll really regret it, and then you won't be able to play your minions. I want to play something that's also a good minion, and then leave myself the ability to play other minions afterwards, like, say, Stormwind Knight plus Life Tap, which I wouldn't be able to do if the Vengeful Mercenary were sitting out on the field. He has a lot of cards. He has 8 cards. But so do I, kind of. A lot of them are pretty dinky. But that's fine in a way. It lets me clear off his recruits, which he's never actually made at all this game. And I've got a pretty good continuation here. Catching up a card and playing Stormwind Knight at the very least. Gonna coin out for a 6-drop. That can't be encouraging. Stunwalker. Okay. Well, of course, now I wish the Vengeful Mercenary were out there on the field, but what can you do? Oh, you could play a Spellbreaker. Oh my god, that's pretty good. Okie dokie. So do I take the time to kill it? I do. Don't let paladins keep creatures, y'all. Did I remember to attack him? Yes, I did. I remember to attack him with the Master. Go me. Okay, so he's got 7 cards. Ah, he's gonna get some card advantage here. Quite a lot, apparently. Oh, jeez. Divine frickin' Shield. What a crock. What a crock. So I could play the Dread Infernal. That would damage this down to 4 health. But it would also damage the Spellbreaker, so the Spellbreaker would die. That kind of sucks. Ugh. Alright, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way, I guess. I'm gonna life tap for a card. Play this dude. And I'm gonna kill that like that. I'm gonna kill that with the imp. So I'm just clearing his board, getting card advantage through life tap. Still have a life advantage as well. So now it's 8 cards versus 6. He needs some pretty seriously good cards to catch up here. Harvest Golem. Not quite what he needs, I'm afraid. Flesh-eating Ghoul. Ah, that's a little better. That is a little better. Okay. Nuts. What I'm going to do here is play the Dread Infernal on life tap. So I'm going to life tap first. Just in case it changes anything. It does not. Okay, so we'll do this. Play the Dread Infernal. And then I can kill off this Ghoul. And have a 6/6 on the field. With a massive cards behind it. So I feel like that was a good play. So I've got 3 more cards in his hand. Sorry, 2 more cards in hand than he does. And I've already got a 6/6 on the field, which is pretty good, I think. And I've even got my quote-unquote endgame here, if I should happen to need it.
They are banned.
There's a big minion, which I'll be happy to murderate. I really want removal for this. Not a chance. Alright, well, let's draw cards. You should always draw cards first. Mortal Coil, that was perfect. Oh, that's really perfect. Bane of Doom. Oh, that would have been, actually, that would have been even better, but, well, can't complain. Can't have everything. So let's just do this and drop a Raging Organ. Bane of Doom could be used to enrage this, but not with spell damage. Obviously, with spell damage, this thing would die. But this dealing 3 damage or something, I could very easily get a good kill with it. He's gonna drop an Ogre. Can I win the game? I should really check for that, shouldn't I? Let's see, I got 6, 9, 13 damage. 13 plus 3 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20 damage! Kids! Always look for the win. Always look for it. It might be there. Kaboom! Ah, that felt good. Nice game where we just won via card advantage. I don't think he ever made a single recruit. Just fine by me. Pretty solid wins with this deck, I gotta say. The loss was to a druid who played 2 swipes, and everything else was pretty convincing, I'd say. I guess I caught a little break that paladin didn't have consecration. And I kept an ooze in my hand the entire game out of fear of True Silver Champion, but it never came. It's fine though, didn't even need it. Didn't even need the ooze. So we're 5-1, got 2 chances to make it up to 7 wins. gonna eat some congratulatory chocolate.
Gul'dan versus Gul'dan.
Chaos Laura. The first game of this run was against a Warlock, and we crushed him. Let's see if we are lucky against this Warlock. Alright, pretty good start. He mulligans his whole hand. Did his mulligan give him an early play? It did. Alas.
Ooh, you're in trouble now.
He's probably not happy about losing that fairy dragon. He's probably even less happy about me having a fairy dragon. This is very difficult to stop the trade now. But if he has Demon Fire, he could do it. No, he does not. Okay, so we'll try to trade off against the ooze. Keeping the panda on hand, it would be safer to play the panda. For reasons like this, Flesh and Ghoul. But I think that it was worth it to keep the panda on hand because the panda could be more useful later. This ghoul actually is quite strong because if he has removal for my stuff, I'll be in a bit of trouble. Alright, looks like he doesn't have removal. Oh god. Well, actually, it's fine. This actually could be extremely annoying, though. Okay. Let's do Fen Creeper here. Do I run both of my things into the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, then? Is that what I do? I think it'd be risky not to. God, if only it had only stopped at 3. The fact that it's at 4 is really frustrating. You know what? No. Not gonna do it. Gonna trust the Sven Creeper to do its job. And then if I need to Siphon Soul this ghoul, then I'll Siphon Soul the ghoul. There's a huge risk that I'm taking here. The reason I took the risk is because I feel like I'm behind here. When you're behind, you should take risks. He is actually going to trade the ghoul voluntarily into the Fen Creeper. That's exactly what I would have wanted. And plays Nightblade. Oh my god. Nightblade. So we got a couple of options here. One is to play the Drake, Mortal Coil, the Scarlet Crusader. The problem is that the MVP Nightblade is now a Chillwind Yeti, and then it can just kill the Drake. And I can't run my guys into it. I would like to play the Voidwalker as well, but then that would be 7 mana, and I don't have it. The other option is just to Siphon Soul this and use the Dragonling to kill the Crusader. A bit sad to use Siphon Soul on such a lame target, but it's okay. I'm gonna head on cards here. If he's got something really, really big, that could pose a problem, but if he doesn't have big stuff, I'll be in good shape. He Shadow Bolts that. That's a delight for me to see that he's spending half a minute doing that. That is actually annoying. I can't kill it with Mortal Coil, and it hits really, really hard. Uh-oh. Okay, Dread Infernal is pretty much the perfect drop, though, because what that does is it kills off this pesky Blood Imp. I'm gonna play Voidwalker. He can actually use the Farseer to kill off the Voidwalker, but it would take both of the attacks, and then Mortal Coil finished off, draw me a card. Gonna life tap first, like a good player. He was about to play something, and he's like, nope. Gotta remember what Papa Boris says, always draw cards first. Oh, that's bad. Crap, so now this thing does not die to Mortal Coil anymore. I'm gonna have to use my guy to kill it. And that doesn't die to Mortal Coil either. Oh, 2 Mortal Coils. Lol. Okay, let's choose your Drake. Soulfire. Is it worth it to Soulfire this thing, or should I just Mortal Coil twice? If I Soulfire, you know I'm gonna Mortal Coil twice. I hate doing it, but let's just get total board control here. So now I've got removal for a pretty decently sized creature with Soulfire, but this is also 10 damage. Plus 9 is 19. I can almost kill him. Well, I actually can kill him next turn if he doesn't interfere with my stuff. He has to have life gain, removal, or taunt to survive right now. That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. Alright, that's the game. So, very important here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't actually win. This is actually really funny. So, if I Soulfire first, I might discard the Hellfire. If I Hellfire first, the Drake dies. So far, that only deals 4 damage. But hold on, if I Panda the Dread Infernal, then Hellfire, well, I don't have enough mana for the Dread Infernal then. This is awkward. Crap. I mean, I could life tap. There's only a 1 in 4 chance of dumping the Hellfire then. No, let's just play Priestess, whatever. We'll do the Priestess here. Heal up. And, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Panda the... Drake. I don't know if that was the right play or not. Crap. That was really awkward. I could have just taken the chance, I suppose, but I feel like I've got enough of a lead here, and he's got a few enough cards. He's not going to surprise kill me. Alright, he's desperately fishing for stuff. That's a good sign. So I've got a lot of power here. I'm just pretty close to killing him with just minion threats alone. Gonna buff that up to kill off my Priestess. Does he have an answer for the Panda? He does have an answer for the Panda. But because he life tapped, he loses because this is 3 + 4 is 7 damage. Okay, so I don't even need to play the Drake. We just Hellfire here and Soulfire. That is that. Tia Slora, the Warlock, goes down quite convincingly, I would say. Not much endgame in this deck, but the Fen Creeper and the Dread Infernal did their jobs. Really amazed that he ran the Flesh-Eating Ghoul into the Fen Creeper. That was the fragile moment of this game. If he had had some kind of answer for that Fen Creeper and the Ghoul could have kept on growing and killed more of my stuff, then he would have been in a lot of trouble. Okay, so we got 2 chances to make it to 7 and thus cement my position above 6,000 gold. Cool stuff, bro. And it's against a mage, Daisy Wrath. Well, the other mage went down easily. Can't expect that to happen for all mages. Not bad here. Panda. Imp. Let's see if I can get a 1-drop. There are 3 in this deck. A Flame Imp would be great. Instead, I get like one of the most terrible cards in my deck. That's fine, though. This deck seems to have a lot of burn potential for the end game. Ah, she has a Mana Worm. What a bitch. Well, let's put the pressure on with this Panda. She needs now to have either Mirror Image or Frostbolt, or else she has to just lose the Mana Worm to the Panda. I mean, there are other things she could have, obviously, as well. So she's going to use the coin just to grow the Mana Worm and trade it up. Pretty good for her. I would like to play the Imp Master, but the Worgen is a much better answer to the Tauren Warrior than the Imp Master is. The Imp Master, the thing could just run into something and get enraged. This is actually threatening to do some serious damage. Just gonna ping that and trade, I presume. Oh no! She is... I don't know. I don't think that's a good move at all. You risk a lot doing something like that. And now she's gonna pay the price. Pop that Divine Shield. And do I kill it or deal 4 damage? Let me think. I'm gonna kill it. Make her spend half her mana fire blasting this thing. So I'm low on life. I think I can life tap like 1 more time at most, and I am not actually ahead on cards, sadly, after all that. She has nothing to play though, which is good news. I do have things to play, which is more good news for me. Note, by the way, I'm always putting the Fairy Dragon in the middle to guard against Cones of Cold. And the Reckless Rocketeer, well, it all dies to Flame Strike and Blizzard, but at least Flame Strike's 2 turns away, and Blizzard is a rare, so I'm willing to risk a Blizzard. My opponent also has an Imp Master, which is frustrating. And then she has an answer for the Fairy. Oh, no! So this opponent clearly wants to burn me out by running everything at my face like that. It's a pretty clear signal. So I could engage, I could play Dread Infernal here to kill off things. Leave everything at a very precarious 1 health. Or I could just play the Reckless Rocketeer. Well, this is a much sturdier body. So I'm going to throw this away first, so it doesn't just pointlessly die to the Dread Infernal. Then we're going to play the Dread Infernal. And then we're going to tap this thing. And then I'll swing for 6 damage. So life-wise, we're about the same, although I sense that she has some, like, fireballs or some kind of burn potential in her hand. Perhaps a pyroblast that she's hoping to play on turn 10, because she's really sending everything on my face pretty aggressively. The problem for her is that she could get burned out. I've got a 6/6 on the field, and I've got 10 charge damage worth of creatures here. Okay, she slows down a little bit and chooses to ping off my minion. Smart move. This I don't agree with. I think the Master should go at the Fairy Dragon. The fact that she's hitting this suggests she probably has a Flame Strike. I don't know, otherwise what would be the point of that move. I will take the time to kill that. Swing for lots and lots and lots of damage. I am flying. And Leopard Dog. Okay, so this guy will actually survive a Flame Strike. If this Reckless Rocketeer is allowed to attack, Doomguard is the win, barring taunts or life gain, of course. Blizzard is, well, that's the worst possible part, because it freezes this and stops it from attacking. I would have much rather seen Flame Strike there. Alright, well, the good news, though, is I get to play the Crocolisk. I get a free Doomguard. 5/7 is kind of big. If you think about it, a Boulder Fist Ogre is like a 6/7, so 5/7 is not that far off. It's just a big body in its own right, even if you don't think about the charge. And she's at 3 health, so she's ahead on cards, but the 3 health is a problem. I just need to draw Soulfire or Hellfire and I win. She needs an Ice Lance now to not die, and she doesn't have it, so... A paltry task indeed, to kill a mage. That would be like a good young adult novel. Like To Kill a Mockingbird, except to kill a mage. To kill a mage. Bait them into using their Fire Blast at inopportune times. My deck has a lot of burn potential. My god, the Doomguard, the Rocketeer, Hellfire, Soulfire. Everything apart from Power Overwhelming, really. Even a Stormwind Knight for good measure. Bane of Doom came up a couple of times. Good times. Good times had by all. So we're at 7 wins, and these games are going pretty fast. I can actually go a little bit further. I need to be somewhere in 30 minutes. So this might end before then, if things go badly enough. I would like to, though, get up to 10 or so and have to pause the video. Alright, I will keep the Shadow Bolt around. It's a shame I'm not second, because I could have played both of these 1-drops first. Which one do you play first here? I think you gotta be more aggressive and go for the Leper Gnome. It is more vulnerable to Earth Shock and Frost Shock, and... you know, he might get lucky and flip a 1/1 totem, but I think you gotta do it. A lot of times people just don't have anything on turn 1. It's got a Rockbiter weapon. Well, that would have killed the Voidwalker just as well. So I'm glad at least that he took more damage. And I wish it had been a Lightning Bolt so he'd be overloaded, but you can't have everything, I guess.
Why do you call?
That's actually really annoying because it doesn't add Immortal Coil plus Voidwalker. I'm going to have to use my Shadow Bolt here. It's very annoying because I really would have liked to play Flame Imp. In fact, you know what? I am going to play Flame Imp. Screw it. I think drawing a card and putting that Flame Imp down is more valuable than Shadow Bolt, spending my whole turn Shadow Bolting this thing, especially when I've got Immortal Coil to finish this off later, potentially. I am at risk of Forked Lightning here.
What does the future?
Not going to do Forked Lightning. Just going to do this. Okay, how risky do we want to play it here? Because this would be very risky indeed. Alright, we're going to play it risky, folks. We're going to play it risky. I'm going to play that. I wish I could play Mortal Coil this turn. This guy could run into that thing, and then I don't have any Mortal Coil targets. Alright, we're going to take a chance. I'm going to run it in there. Do I trade this? You know what? I'm not going to be risky. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just going to do that. It's fine. Hope he does not flip a healing totem, otherwise the plan next turn is to Mortal Coil this thing and then Crocolisk or something like that.
Your magic shall
I'm going to silence my Sentient, which I'm totally fine with. I don't care that much about taking 2 extra damage. Not really a big deal. Doomguard could be useful later. Let's draw cards first, though. Infernal, not bad. And I could either damage my Sentient and play a Crocolisk, or I could Shadow Bolt this and keep my Sentient healthy. Well, let's do this so I can also life tap. That's one of the problems with Doomguard is that you actually don't want to life tap because it makes it harder to get the Doomguard for free. And also if you life tapping, it means you get to play other cards more, and then it doesn't matter that you're not playing the Doomguard anytime soon. All right, well I lose my Crocalist tragically, and this is too big for a Shadow Bolt to kill, which is really annoying. Okay, well actually here I will play the Doomguard prematurely. I don't really mind those two losses. I got to keep my single target removal, my good 3-mana minions, and this my quote-unquote end game, so that's cool. But things could go bad in a hurry, potentially. Alright, he's got a Boulder Fist Ogre, which is a bit scary. Oh, I have a Ventricle Mercenary. Well, let's do it, and I'm not going to life tap here. I've got enough cards, and I don't want to risk too much. So this guy could potentially kill my opponent if he's not careful. Oh, that's a good card. Well, sorry, it's not a good card, it's just good here. So he can kill the Doomguard and the Ventricle Mercenary. Oh my god. Well, he's playing with bad cards and getting a lot out of them, so congratulations, I guess. How obnoxious. Alright, you do that. So now, I think we need to go into racing mode and try to exploit the burn potential of this deck. I already lost a Hellfire, which is unfortunate, but there is still a Soulfire in there. And I have a Reckless Rocketeer. These things may all conspire to deal some finishing damage to the opponent if he is not careful. Plus, this is 1 damage here as well. But I'd say that my opponent has the advantage now, thanks to playing with bad cards, like the Windspeaker and Ancestral Spirit, and actually getting a Boulder Fist Ogre to stick on the table, while being not quite far enough back that he would get suffered for it. Alright, please don't be taunt. Thank you, I really don't care about the healing at all. Does he have removal for the Sen'jin? Because if he doesn't... Ah, he's a Fire Elemental. Okay, so now this is actually starting to become a little bit scary. And then, actually, the Healing Totem heals us up to the point where Shadow Bolt does not kill it. That is a problem. Does he die right? Does he kill me? 12, 15? He doesn't kill me just yet. Alright, we're going to have to go for it here, folks. Going to put some Demon Fire on that. Oh gosh! That's not... That's not a demon. The imp is the demon. Oh, that might have cost me my game. Well, let's kill that. Let's do that. I guess I'll life tap. Oh, jeez. That was one of the more embarrassing mistakes that I've made on this channel. I just threw away a Demon Fire for nothing. So he should be at 8 health. This should be a 3-3. Whatever. Yeah. So I got beaten by Windspeaker plus Ancestral Spirit. That really crushed me in this particular game. Without those awful cards, I could have potentially won. Alright, anyway, could I still win? No, I don't have Power Overwhelming. I just don't have enough burn potential, and he's got enough power out here that it's gonna be fine for him. I would need a Shadow Flame here to stand a chance, because that would let me play the Dread Infernal and kill everything. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. Well played. So we made it to 7 wins before losing a pretty embarrassing game. That's fine. Let's play another. I should be able to make it to, like... Well, assuming if I lose, then I'll just end. If I win, I should be able to make it to 9 wins before I have to pause the video and then do the rest of the games in a separate one. Pretty happy to make it to 7 wins with Warlock, honestly. I've been on a bit of a rough streak lately, and Warlock is my worst class. 3rd mage of the run, Blitz the Mage.
You asked for it.
Not the greatest opening hand. That's okay, though. You're going to get some bad hands sometimes. Much as I hate to mulligan that Sen'jin, I don't have enough early plays. This 3 mana doesn't really count, so I'm going to mulligan it up. And I'm glad I did because, well, I didn't get anything playable. The Demon Fire only kills so many things. Can't believe that Imp Master. I forgot the Imp Master's not a demon. Oh, man. I could have dealt 2 extra damage for the demon plus 1 for the Imp Master herself. Another imp would have popped. He would have at least had to distract himself killing some of those imps off. Yeah. That was unfortunate. This is a really bad opening hand, though, so if I do lose a game to bad hands, it could be this one. Okay, it's not a really bad opening hand, but it's pretty bad. Oh my god, are you kidding me? And a 6-drop. Okay, well this Mana Worm means that I'm gonna have to coin out the Raging Worgen even if there's nothing to play on turn 3 afterwards. Demon Fire unfortunately does not kill his own, she has a Mirror Image. Lovely, so I can't even enrage the Worgen because it has to butt heads into these Mirror Images first. Ah, Ooze. Okay, we'll do the Ooze. It's basically as good as the Worgen here, but lets me keep my coin, which could be significant because the coin could be used to play Fen Creeper on turn 4. I might need to do that. Just a Frostbolt. God. Mana Worm is such a dumb card, I can't even take it. So this has already dealt 5 damage to me, and it's a 1 mana thing. Oh, thank freaking Christ. So I get to play Worgen and Soulfire that thing, using Demon Fire, which is probably the worst card I was holding. Actually pretty happy that I did not lose the coin, because it's going to let me play the Fen Creeper next turn. Okay, alright, we stabilized. The Mana Worm did 5 damage. It's similar to a Leper Gnome in that regard. Which is a secret. Oh my gosh, is that really a mirror entity? Well, aha, in case it is, I have to respect it. Because the 2/4 isn't that great. It's not a mirror entity though. So it might be Vaporize or Ice Armor. Those are the next most likely ones. It could be Counterspell, which would have countered the coin, hilariously enough. Stampede Kodo, please kill this thing! Thank you. Good times. Good times. Okay, so now that I know it's not Mirror Entity, I can safely play this. And we'll check for Vaporize Ice Armor with my Worgen. It is one of those, and it is Vaporize. Well, that makes me regret that I did it that way. I guess technically a 2/4 is better than a 3/3, but a 3/3 they can get enraged has some extra value, I think. That it would have been worth it to me to try to protect. Cobra. That's annoying because it threatens to kill the Fen Creeper. Alright, well, she's got lots of minions. That is for sure. Alright, let's actually put the Fen Creeper to use, I suppose. Get rid of that Kodo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of a tech play here. I'm going to play the Ventricle Mercenary. I'm expecting the opponent to pop the Divine Shield against the Fen Creeper and use the Cobra to kill the Ventricle because it's so threatening. And then that means that, like, you know, I'll be free of this thing's drawback and I can play other minions. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it all worked out just as planned.
We must cleanse
Some
the
Cleric.
Sunwell.
Oh, that's kind of frustrating. So it means my imps are not going to kill the Scarlet Crusader. And the Mortal Coil isn't either. Alright, I'd say that my opponent is starting to get a little bit ahead. I don't know if the coin's ever going to be useful, so I might as well just use it to play the Crocolisk, which will trade against either of her minions. Luckily, the health situation is good, so I'd say that I can life tap at least a few times and win a protracted battle, but that is what this game is going to be. We're both at pretty much full health. Alright, she's going to trade, so she's not doing anything fancy, but she's got Fireball for this, keeping the Scarlet Crusader around. Better a Fireball there than on my face, I suppose. So that's cool. Scarlet Crusader can kill the It Master, but then the Mortal Coil will finish it off, and Stormwind Knight is a really good card here, because it lets me actually kill off that Scarlet Crusader. Alright. So she will assumingly, I presume, kill the Stormwind Knight, letting the Imp survive for a little time. Then she'll have 3 cards and 7 mana. I will have, after life tapping, 3 cards and 7 mana to respond. So it's a real tight game, and it's about as close as they come. I start off with a little bit of board presence, but these cards could be anything, so big stuff for her would be bad news for me. Sorcerer's Apprentice, don't really care. Secret, also don't really care. Unless it's a Spellbender, that would suck. Alright. Well, in case it's a Mirror Entity, I don't really want to rush into that Sunwalker. Well, the Reckless Rocketeer will kill itself. So I'm actually going to play the Reckless Rocketeer to trigger Mirror Entity. Still not Mirror Entity, huh? Alright. Well, let's do this. Mortal Coil to draw a card. It's not Spellbender or Counterspell, so likely again another Ice Armor / Vaporize. We'll check for that with the It Master. Ice Barrier, perfect. That's the crappiest secret of the Mage repertoire for sure. And now I would say I'm in really great shape. I've got 2 cards in her hand, so does she. My life total's high enough she can't burn me out, and I've got board presence here. So I wouldn't even care if there was a Blizzard or Flame Strike, she'd still be behind. She's hovering over the Fire Blast, wondering what to shoot. She decides to do the fire blast, the Rocketeer, so perhaps there's an arcane missile or an arcane explosion. No, she's just gonna work on it slowly over time. Okay, well, that's fine by me. Do I open wide against Flame Strike? I think so, and I'm not gonna life tap here. I've got enough cards. I don't see a reason to life tap there. I do need to, I mean, it's because she is a mage, I need to be a little bit careful about stuff. Just in case she does have like 2 fireballs and a pyroblast, I don't want to just randomly lose. No Flame Strike here, that's good news. She works down over 2 turns, plays a Priestess of Balloon herself. That'll die perfectly to Shadow Bolt, and another Mana Worm, which is much worse now than it used to be. Alright, well, before I Shadow Bolt, let's Azure Drake. Panda, huh? Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna make a little bit of a tech play here. I'm gonna make a Panda and put the Azure Drake back in my hand. So what this does, it doesn't really take that much power off the board. This is 3 power rather than 4. But it allows me to replay the Azure Drake and get another card without having to life tap. So I feel like that's worth it. It also keeps spell damage in my hand in case I need to preserve the spell damage to beef up Hellfire or Soulfire. She has Frostbolt to freeze my biggest minion from attacking. And actually, I can't play more minions on the board because there's no way to kill any of them. And my board is full. Should I life tap here? Sure, I'll life tap. Does this, I wonder, does this... Ah, it pops and then dies. Okay, so even though there wasn't any room, it actually made room. That's kind of cool. So that Imp Master was quite longevitous. It survived to pop the full cadre of imps. So all she has is a Dark Iron Dwarf. This poor mage really needed some Flame Strikes or Blizzards or something. And just never got them. And my imps are gonna swarm her down to death. Okay, that was a bit of a slower game, so I'm gonna have to pause the video here. If you enjoyed that video, do please like and or subscribe. And the rest of the games are gonna be coming up soon, where we'll see just how far I can make it with my worst class, the Warlock, having a good arena run here. I'll see you soon.